So if you want to try to, there we go.
Okay.
Fabulous. I love it very much. All right, great. And maybe if you want, we could take like a breath. In my case, maybe a yawn. And like, get back into the vibe. Any body movements that feel good to you. Yeah.
Okay, I'm grounded in where I need to be for this. I'm like I said, I've been circling around it, viewing it from a higher place, looking down on it, but seeing it and seeing all of it and how far reaching it goes and how far down it goes. And that's why I know that, like I said, it feels like a pregnancy that has been going on, I would say, for probably about 15 years now. And yeah, and it's this professional juxtaposition. And I've put myself out there and I've tried to give birth to it a couple of times, and it's only been miscarriages and stillbirths. And I'm still pregnant with it. And
Yeah.
I can feel it's aging in me, but it's also ready to be born. You know?
Thank you. Yeah. And that's so evocative, that understanding of it. And so let's go back, like you were saying before, just to find that emotional experience of it right now that is strongest for you.
Okay.
And you said before, worn down, tired, drained. Do those feel kind of like the right words, or is there anything different?
No, those are the perfect words. Worn down, tired, drained, worn out, and just like any mother who's in her, in her 9 month, she's ready. She's just ready. Yeah.
Thank you. Great. Okay. So we've got that feeling of worn down, tired, drained, worn out. And that is the emotion that arises. And give me just a concise description of the situation in which that arises for you.
Over the years, I've tried to get my website together. I've gone back and forth with Blog Talk radio shows, with several Facebook pages, with a YouTube video channel.
Valerie, I wonder, do you mind if I interrupt you?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. And feel free to let me know if you're like, no, I need to say that. Would it be okay with you? Because I can kind of relate to this kind of thing. And I sometimes, like, I think what I'm hearing is I hear that there's a lot of story, which is important, and it's contextual, and it helps like understand from one perspective. So I totally get that. And would it be okay with you if I did like a little bit of guiding to try and keep us out of that just for this process?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And if ever you're like, no, actually, this part really wants to be said because there's something I need to get out that way, just let me know.
Okay.
But yeah, super cool. So beautiful. So we've got that emotional experience, worn down, tired, drained, and worn out. And just super quickly, let me know, like, what is the situation that prompts that in you without needing to describe the story of it, but just, for example, like, I feel worn down, tired, drained, and worn out when I think about getting this work done, or whatever it is.
It's committing without committing.
You feel that way when you feel you're committing without committing.
Yeah. So it's
Thank
conflict.
you. Say that last word again.
Conflict. I feel conflicted.
Yeah. So you feel tired, drained, worn out, worn down when you feel that conflict of committing without committing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. I really feel that. And how strong is that now? If you kind of let yourself, feel into it, whatever way is right for you to feel into it. How strong is that now on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would say it's an 8.
Thank you. And what's the adverse impact in your life?
I'm not able to step into the professional arena the way I envision the professional arena to be designed.
Mm, thank you. And what goals you have? How would you like to feel, either after this session or in general? How would you like to feel around this issue?
I would like to know that I designed my own arena and it's mine, and nobody can do it like I can.
Mm, hmm. And when you feel that way, like you know that you design your own arena, no one can do it like you and it's yours, how will that feel for you?
It'll feel liberating.
Liberating. Beautiful. So I'm hearing that the emotional content of your goal is to feel liberated. Is that fair? Or would you phrase that differently?
I'm liberated from the weariness. Yes, just liberated.
Mm, great. Thank you. And anything else for that goal, or is that complete? Like, and that is beautifully targeted and crystallized.
That's beautifully targeted and crystallized.
Wonderful. Thank you. Fantastic. So, Valerie, what to you, it sounds to me like we might have a polarity here between weariness and liberation or something like that. Does that speak to you or
Yes,
not so much?
it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. How would you feel, since you know the process is obviously about doing a polarity integration?
I would love that.
All right. Thank you. Great, great, great. I'm just gonna get up my notes. All righty. So I'll just do a really quick intro to the process since you know it well already.
Okay.
So as you know, what we're looking at here is a polarity integration. And the purpose of that is to take care of the emotional charge that arises for you when this pair polarities, and we were calling it weariness and liberation, when this pair polarities manifests itself in your life. And so that includes resolving not only any sort of negative emotional charge, but also any positive emotional charge that's there. And when we accomplish that for you, that'll let you have more access to truth.
Thank you.
So super. And as you know, in this process, we're going to go back and forth between those. And so your task is to really fully feel each of those. Whenever they come up, feel them fully, feel them completely, feel anything that's hidden or been suppressed about them as we go back and forth. And we're going to feel them both at the same time. You're going to tell me what's happening, and we'll repeat that. And eventually, they will have some kind of exciting merging happening.
Okay.
All right. And are you ready to do this with a full presence without resisting anything, just accepting whatever comes up?
Yes, I am.
All right. We are beginning now. Fantastic. All right. So actually, yeah, let me ask you, which one of those has the most charge for you? Liberated or weary? And is there a particular way you want to phrase those words, like liberated, liberating?
Liberation has the
Liberation.
greatest charge.
Great. Thank you. And so we got liberation and weariness, right?
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right, wonderful. Yeah, let your eyes close. Let yourself take a little breath just to settle into the here and now for a bit. Let yourself feel grounded, held by the surfaces that support you. And when you're ready, feel liberation. And give me a nod when you're feeling liberation. Feel it fully, feel liberation fully and deeply. Magnify it. Great. So make it real and as strong as you can, and tell me something about it.
It's welcoming.
Thank you. And take a breath and let that go. Now feel weariness. Feel it fully and deeply. Magnify weariness. Make it real and as strong as you can. Tell me something about it.
I'm tired of it.
Thank you. And take a breath and let that go. Feel liberation. Feel it fully and deeply. Magnify it, make it real and strong. Noticing any images, thoughts, body sensations, emotions. Tell me something about it.
It's like floating on water or air.
Thank you. Thank you. Take a breath and let that go. Now feel weariness. Feel weariness fully and deeply. Magnify it, make it real and strong as you can. Notice any body sensations, emotions, images, thoughts. Tell me something about weariness.
It's heavy and it hurts.
Thank you. And take a breath. And let that go. Now feel liberation. Feel it fully and deeply. Magnify it. Make it real and strong. Tell me something about it.
It's welcoming. Welcoming quietness. Peace. Welcoming peace. That's better. Welcoming peace.
Thank you. And take a breath and let that go. Now feel weariness. Feel weariness fully and deeply. Magnify it. Make it real, as strong as you can. Tell me something about it.
It's chaotic and noisy. White noise.
Thank you. And take a breath and let that go. And now feel both liberation and weariness. Both weariness and liberation at the same time. Deeply inhale, feeling both liberation and weariness at the same time. Exhale and tell me what's happening between them.
They are merging into oneness.
Thank you. And take a breath and let that go. Now feel liberation. Feel it fully and deeply. Anything that you haven't already felt or noticed or experienced about liberation. Make it real, strong as you can, and tell me something about it.
It's always there.
Thank you. And take a breath. And let it go. Now feel weariness. Feel it fully and deeply. Make it real and as strong as you can. Feel anything that hasn't already been felt, anything suppressed about weariness, and tell me something about it.
It's a familiar choice.
Thank you. Take a breath and let that go. Now feel liberation. Feel it fully and deeply. Magnify it. Feel everything there is to feel about liberation. Tell me something about it.
It is my best friend.
Thank you. Take a breath and let that go. Now feel weariness. Feel it fully and deeply. Magnify it. Make it real and as strong as you can. Feel everything there is to feel about weariness. Tell me something about it.
It's also my best friend.
Thank you. Take a breath and let that go. And now feel liberation. Feel any images, any body sensations, any emotions, any thoughts. Make liberation as strong and real as you can. And tell me something about it.
The image that came was Wonder Woman flying in her invisible plane. Liberation being the plane itself.
Thank you. Take a breath and let that go. Feel weariness. Feel it fully. Feel body sensations, images, emotions, thoughts. Make weariness as real and strong as you can. Tell me something about it.
It keeps me grounded.
Thank you. And take a breath and let that go. Now feel both liberation and weariness, both weariness and liberation at the same time. Deeply inhale. Exhale and tell me what's happening between them.
They are doing a magnetic dance of repelling and attracting.
Thank you. And take a breath and let that go. Feel liberation. Feel it fully, deeply. Magnify it. Make it real and as strong as you can. Tell me something about it.
It has a message for me.
Thank you. And take a breath. And let that go. Feel weariness. Feel it fully, deeply. Magnify it and make it real and as strong as you can. Tell me something about it.
It's waiting for me to let it go.
Thank you. Now take a breath. And let it go. Now feel liberation. Feel it fully. Anything that's been hidden about liberation. Anything unknown. Anything about liberation that wants to be seen. Make liberation real and strong and magnified. Tell me something about it.
It's my first way of knowing.
Thank you. Take a breath and let that go. Feel weariness. Feel anything there is that's been suppressed about weariness. Everything there is to feel about weariness. Anything that hasn't been felt before about weariness. Make weariness magnified, real and strong, and tell me something about it.
It gives me permission to procrastinate.
Thank you. And take a breath. And let that go. Now feel both liberation and weariness and liberation at the same time. Deeply inhale, feeling them both. Exhale, and tell me what's happening between them.
They no longer
Say that again.
They no longer exist.
Thank you. And have they merged or have they not merged?
Yes.
Thank you. And how does that feel? How would you describe the feeling of them merged, no longer existing?
Delivery and rebirth. Rebirth.
Rebirth.
Mhm.
Thank you. So feel that rebirth feeling, that feeling of them no longer existing. And imagine that feeling of yourself spreading like a wave in front of you infinitely. Feel rebirth, that feeling of them no longer existing, spreading like a wave behind you infinitely. Feel that merged feeling of rebirth, like they no longer exist, spreading like a wave to your right infinitely. Feel that rebirth feeling of they no longer exist, of it being merged, spreading like a wave to your left infinitely. Feel that feeling of rebirth, they no longer exist, emerged, spreading like a wave upward above you, high, high, high up infinitely. Feel that feeling of rebirth, that feeling that they no longer exist, spreading like a wave infinitely below you, down, down, down. Feel that feeling of rebirth, they no longer exist, spreading in all directions simultaneously, up, down, to your left, to your right, in front of you, and behind you. And allow that feeling of rebirth, they no longer exist, to flow out of you, to emanate from your being, to cascade out of you. And again, spread it, cascading out of you, infinitely up, infinitely down, infinitely to the left, infinitely to the right, infinitely in front of you, infinitely behind you. And now let yourself imagine a ball of light above your head. And with every breath you take, on your inhalation, fill your body breathing in this divine light. Consciously breathe in this divine white light and love. Let it fill every cell of your body. And at your own pace, taking all the time that you'd like. When it feels ready for you, open your eyes. And what are you more conscious of now? How do you feel?
Liberated.
Say that again.
Liberated and free. Freer.
Yeah, liberated and free. Thank you. And are you able to feel liberation and weariness separately?
No.
Thank you. In the future, will you be able to access liberation and weariness equally easily?
Yeah.
Thank you. And what happened to the goal that you said you wanted to achieve, which was to feel liberated from weariness and to know that I designed my own arena? It's mine, and no one else can do it like I can.
I see that they were both working hand in hand for me to find my balance between them so that I can own that space, so that I can design that space by pulling and judging between the two, because they both are guides. And I
Thank
didn't
you.
have that before, so that's good.
Yay.
Mhm.
Thank you for letting me know. So what's your new narrative? Is that what you just said, your new narrative, or is there anything else?
to take my time knowing that I'm free and that when this is ready to be born, it will be. And because it's already free, it's already destined to be because it already exists. So, yeah.
Thank you. And what's an action step that you can take in the next day or two to live that more fully in your life?
I would say write, journal, write a poem, reflect upon it a little bit more, go a little bit deeper into getting to know what this is that already exists and know that it's not something separate from me,
Mm,
but it's already there. And that's the missing point.
mhm.
It's not something I have to do.
Got you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, lovely. And for writing a poem or writing or journaling and reflecting, is there anything that would help you get that done in the next couple days? Like if it were me, I would probably need to put it in my calendar. Is there anything that would help you, or are you good just saying?
No, I'm just going to be letting it arise within me, marinating in it, and just letting it simmer and stew until it's ready.
Thank you. Fabulous. And how will you know your life has changed?
Actually, being able to read the words and knowing that the words is an inner form of commitment from my higher self being born into this now moment.
Mm, got you. Thank you. So I'm hearing that you'll know your life has shifted when you are reading the words
Mm,
and knowing that the words are this inner form of commitment.
yeah.
Got you. Thank you. Beautiful. What's one thing that you can do that will make everything else easier or unnecessary?
Accept the liberation and the weariness. Accept them both and don't see one as being superior or better or worse than the other.
Thank you. And what was valuable to you about doing this process?
Being able to really see these as polarities and to know that they are to identify them as guides, and as boundaries and as safeguards, from many different perspectives of my being, but to also know that I give birth to them. They're not separate from me. So it's not something that's demanding something of me. It's not an act that I have to do. I already am. And it's just saying be.
Thank you. Beautiful. And when you go back and look at the problem that we started with, which was feeling worn down, tired, drained, worn out, like a mother in the 9th month, ready to give birth, how strong is that now on a scale of 1 to 10 for you? And what
Mm,
happened to that?
I would say that's probably down to about a 1 or 2. Yeah, I don't think it's ever gonna go under that 1 or 2. So that's about as low as it's gonna get.
Thank you. Lovely. All right. And we don't usually do, I guess, a circular for universal, but I do want to ask, is there anyone or anything else that participates in this with you?
No.
Okay. Thank you. And is there anything in you that opposes the integration of this polarity within you? All right. And do you think or feel that in the future it could come up and be with you again against your will?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anything else, any other integration question or anything else that you would like to say or to put into presence to feel complete?
The process is very satisfying. There's nothing that feels unfed or unfulfilled right now. So it's very satisfying in all my bodies, mind, emotions, thoughts, physical body, spiritual body.
Mm, lovely. And if you would like, I'll invite you to maybe take just a little time to like simmer in that feeling of it being satisfying in all of your bodies. Maybe just notice what part of your body knows about that satisfying feeling.
That would be, and this is gonna again sound funny, but I've had 2 surgeries that left me without a belly button.
Mm.
And I would say my belly button, that's completely where this feeling is, and it is a spiral. So it looks like the Milky Way.
Mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. And I invite you, if you like, you can sit with that belly button feeling, the spiral like the Milky Way feeling, a feeling of satisfaction. And if you like, you can take an anchor point from this, something where your body can just kind of remember it. And you might like to anchor that into yourself by saying, okay, when I touch the area of my belly button, or when I touch a certain part, I'll know that this is here for me.
Yeah.
Lovely. Let yourself soak in that as long as you like, and then just let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready because I just dived right in.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, magical work, Valerie.
You.
Beautiful.
Wonderful guidance. Thank you.
Oh, you're so very welcome. It's really an honor to witness you. Yeah, and you're definitely doing your own work there, and it's gorgeous.
Thank you. It'll be my turn for you next. So we'll have to schedule. Yeah, we'll have to schedule another one soon.
You would love that. Yeah. Do you want to, if you like, we could do that now, or if you want to kind of keep vibing in where you are now, we could talk about that via Messenger. What would be best for you?
Um, let's do it via Messenger. And yeah, I am still caught up in the ambience of this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very wonderful. Like I said, my spirit has been looking forward to it as a treat, and it is a treat. So thank you.
Oh, you're so, so welcome. And thank you. And I love that description. I resonate.
Yeah.
Yay. All right. Well, shall I let you go?
Yes, and I'll stay in contact on Messenger, and we will definitely. I am free with my time right now because.
Okay.
So let me know when your schedule allows for me
Okay.
to reciprocate, and let me know which process you would prefer, and that way I can be ready for you.
Awesome. I will totally do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, fabulous. Oh, and would you like me to send you? I took some notes for your process. I know you've already got the recording, so you may or may not need the notes. But if you like, I can
Oh,
send
I'd
them.
love them. I'd love them.
Okay, fabulous. I will send over a big chunk of text then.
Sounds good. Do you want my email?
Oh, I was going to send it by Messenger, but I can email it to you too if you prefer.
Either one is fine. Which do you?
Okay, I'll just do Messenger because I've already got your Messenger. Yeah,
Sounds.
awesome.
Thank you.
Have a great evening, Valerie. Bye.
Bye bye.